Okay, interesting. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, well, we got a super show today, so here we go.
Welcome to the Watchtower, where me and Joe go through each episode of the 2001 Justice League animated series and eventually the Justice League Unlimited. Today we watched the 2001 episode from season 1. This is episodes 5 and 6, The Enemy
6 and
Below.
7.
6 and 7, yeah. It always throws me off the...
1, 2, 3, yeah.
Yeah, 6 and 7, The Enemy Below, which is our introduction to Aquaman on the show. Joe, start us off on a recap, and then we'll gush over Aquaman.
Okay. You already know where it's going. So, this episode's all about my main home man, Aquaman. We start off the episode. We're in Waterland.
It's Atlantis.
We're not in Atlantis when we start off.
We're
in the ocean somewhere.
We're in the Atlantis territory.
Atlantis
That's
territory.
Why they
Okay, we're in Atlantis territory, and Justice League gets a call. So Martian Manhunter, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Green Lantern all fly down there in the Javelin to see what the problem is, and they run into Aquaman and his Atlantean troops. And they're mad because there's a sub down there with humans, and they're invading their territory.
It's a nuclear submarine, which will come in important. So Aquaman's like, you can get the crew out of the sub, but the sub stays with us. And Green Lantern's kind of not happy about this.
Nukes. We want to know where our nukes are.
That's a nuclear sub. If you think we're just going to walk away and leave it...
What makes you think you have a choice?
And
so
right before they leave, Superman's like, Aquaman... Maybe you wouldn't have this problem if you interacted with the other politicians of the world. And
so go to the World Assembly. That's what it's called. Yeah, the World Assembly. Yeah. And then they go back to the Watchtower. Superman's talking on the phone to someone, and the silhouettes of Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter, who still has not said anything, are like, I don't like this.
Yeah, Martian Manhunter barely talks in this episode.
Yeah, but he's in it a lot. And then Green Lantern's like, I don't like this. So he goes back down, sneaks, and goes into the sub. But the nuke's gone.
Oh, no.
And Aquaman had said, we're not going to do anything with it. We just want it as leverage.
Meanwhile, Aquaman is making his way downtown, walking fast, moving slow, to the World Assembly. We're really punch happy today.
Yep.
Out of the way, meathead!
Not so fast, buddy. Where do you think you're going?
Where is the World Assembly?
He goes to the World Assembly, and he's basically like, okay, guys, stop going through our territories, and we won't go to war with you. And they're like,
no!
That destroys our economy. And he's like, I don't care. I don't know what compromise is.
And so he walks out all cool and Aquaman-like.
Best part of this episode, we get a lot of quality snapper car time.
Oh, yes.
My favorite character on the show, I have to look up the voice actor real quick.
It's the dude.
Jason Marsden, our official voice actor of the Watchtower, gets a lot of screen time this episode. He doesn't really do much. Like
he's Snapper Car.
He
reports his car.
According to eyewitness accounts, Aquaman then forced his way past the guards and into a closed session of the World Assembly.
You got the voice.
And then Deadshot.
A masked assailant. Deadshot.
Y'all jokers must be crazy.
He shoots a rocket and
knocks out Aquaman. Oh, not even knocks out. He almost kills him.
Yeah. Like straight up.
Yeah.
And the doctors are like, we don't know what to do. And Batman's like, put him in salt water.
He's a fish out of water. He's a fish man out of water.
Which Batman shows up. Cool reveal.
Yeah.
Because up until this point, you didn't know that Batman was going to be in this episode.
How bad is it?
Hard to tell. His physiology is not like ours. It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
But can you help him?
I don't know.
Then maybe I can.
And then we go to Atlantis, where we have Aquaman's brother, who does not have a name.
Orm.
It's such a bad name. Orm. We have Orm, who's like, let's face it, Aquaman is dead. I am the king now.
Yeah, basically. And like, there's a part where Merida comes up to him. It's like
Aquaman's wife.
Yeah, and
Queen.
he's like, you're not. He could come back, and he goes,
No, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead.
But he's not going to.
But he's dead. But my son's the rightful heir. He's a kid. No, I'm king.
Yeah, because Aquaman has a child, and his whole motivation for going and talking to the humans is he's like,
I want a better life for my
I want a
kid.
better life for my son. And so, noble motivation. So, Aquaman wakes up, and they decide that they're going to set a
plan.
Yeah.
A trap for the trapper.
Yeah, they're going to set a trap for Deadshot. We get a pretty cool chase scene with Deadshot and the rest of.
Although it does take like 5 Justice League members to take him down.
Yeah, that's a little.
And he's just on a motorcycle.
Odd. But I think that shows how resourceful Deadshot is, and seeing how we don't get much Deadshot, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, Deadshot's cool.
And like the thing is, like, he doesn't go up and beat up Superman.
No. He's literally running. He's literally running around.
He's able to evade them, which is cool. But then Batman interrogates him, which is a pretty cool little exchange.
Well, to catch him, and then Batman interrogates him.
And then they find out that he got paid with all this gold.
Spanish doubloons.
Oh, no.
Where are those from?
And
Atlantis.
Aquaman's like, I'm going to go back to Atlantis. He goes back to Atlantis, and his brother's like, too bad.
I'm the captain now.
I'm the captain now. All his generals are like, yeah, you didn't attack the surface dwellers, so we're going to attack them now. And so they imprison Aquaman.
I left specific orders.
I'm only doing what you never had the courage to do.
End part 1.
This
was a good episode.
A solid episode.
It was really good.
There's a lot of intrigue. All the stuff with Deadshot's fun.
You get good action in this.
Good action.
Aquaman's amazing.
The world of Atlantis is really interesting.
We don't see much of Atlantis in this one.
No, we don't. We
see a lot of it in the next episode, though.
Yeah. But we don't see a lot of it in the rest of the series. This is really our big point.
Yeah.
Where we get to see it. But it's really cool. Aquaman, by the way, is voiced by Scott Rummel. And this was, according to his IMDb page, this was the last thing he did.
Really?
I looked
this
up to see what
episode
else he
or
did.
just in general?
In general, this was the last thing he voiced. I looked it up, and his last credit is Justice League TV series, Arthur Curry.
Oh.
I don't know what happened.
Maybe he died?
No. Oh, well, this does say
he's in Inside Out.
So
never mind.
You presume too much.
But he does a great voice. It's a really cool voice.
It's Aquaman. You expect him to be like, well, I'm Aquaman. Fishies come to me, but
unless you know anything.
Unless you know anything about Aquaman, but I don't like Aquaman normally. This Aquaman's really cool though.
Part 2 recap, and then we jump straight into the Justice League has gone to Atlantis, and it's basically a whole cat and mouse game of they're trying to get to Aquaman to free him. The brother is preparing for a war with all the generals against the surface. Merida gets some cool stuff to do.
Well, they capture the Justice League starting off, and like put head things on them that stop them from doing anything.
Powers.
They made it seem like they just can't concentrate to use them.
Batman's not here.
Batman's not here.
It's just the 4 that we started with,
and they're like drowning them in a tube of water. That's very impractical.
And then Merida comes in and
frees them.
Yeah, but the coolest thing about this episode, we can drop all that because the coolest thing about this episode. One of the coolest moments in this series is Orm has Aquaman tied to or chained to a rock, and he sails up to him and they exchange some words, and then Aquaman's like, yeah, but you don't have any real power because I have a son, and Orm's like, yeah, but not for long.
I have the child and this knife.
Oh, which is he going to kill? Oh,
no, he's going to stab it in the rock and hang the child on the knife. Can't be too graphic here.
Can't show blood. And then
killing of infants.
Then he blasts the bottom of the rock, so the rock is
going into lava,
and it goes into lava. And
Aquaman he pulls off one of the chains. He's like, "Gotta get this last one to save my infant child. Not gonna have enough time. Hey, there's a sharp thing on my belt. I'm gonna slice off my own hand because I'm that hardcore.
So cool. And he shows up in the throne room, and they're like, "Oh yeah, the baby's back." Then it just pans down to his hands wrapped up.
My love, you're safe.
And so is our son.
They made a smart decision. His son's wrapped in a red cloth. He wraps his hand in a red cloth afterwards. It doesn't have to stain blood because it's red, but you get that idea.
Get it.
Smart animation decision right there.
Because you can't show blood in TVY7.
Sadly not. But that's one of the coolest
Aquaman's hardcore,
things
man.
ever. And of course he gets the hook hand, which is really cool. He does
It's huge. I didn't remember it being that big.
Know.
It's like the length of like a calf.
It makes it for some really fun action.
So next we're like, wait, where did Orm go? We have everybody here. Batman's back. Where was Batman during all this?
Batman.
He didn't go to Atlantis at first, right?
He was
he didn't go to
down something. I know he's the one who finds out where Orm is.
Okay, yeah, he was tracking down. He was trying to figure out what Orm was doing. That's what it was. And it turns out there's this weapon in the North Pole that will flood the Earth. But Aquaman didn't arm it. But wait, we were missing a nuke from earlier.
And so it's armed by Orm.
Orm
and so they go and they have a fight. And
they tussle.
The fight's okay, but the coolest thing about this is there's a part where Aquaman is riding on one of their little jet skis, and then a killer whale jumps out of the water. He jumps on it, and it crashes down and kills. Let's be honest, those people are dead.
They're dead.
Kills a ton of Atlanteans. It's so cool.
Yeah, it's straight sham. It was straight out of a whale show at SeaWorld.
I saw it, but I still don't believe it.
And even at the Green Lantern right after, he's like, was not expecting that to happen.
I know, it's so cool because you made reference to like, oh, they should be, it's jet skis, they should be riding on dolphins. You know, there has to be some fish involved. People kind of write that off as something stupid. Like,
really
he talks to fish. You can do some really cool stuff. Okay,
it was the good amount of cool and absurd at the same time.
Oh yeah. They have a tussle, and it ends with Orm holding onto the ledge of this platform they're on.
He's like,
and
Arthur,
Aquaman looking
save
down
me.
at him. Yeah, and Aquaman just picks up the trident, which Orm has been fighting with. It's like, this is mine. And then Orm falls to his death.
And dies.
It's great. It's
Aquaman's
one of those...
hardcore.
Yeah, Aquaman, we talked about this while we were watching. If Aquaman was in this show, he'd
be the coolest character.
He would give Batman a run for his money.
Yeah.
He isn't in a lot of the show, which I'm actually fine
well,
with. Because he's a political thriller, it won't make sense for him to go patrol.
There's only so much cool you can have in the show before everybody's all dark and brooding like both of them are.
That's true. So yeah, that was
we get a good amount of
episode.
I really like this episode.
There's not a lot of like story detail or depth. It's pretty simple. It's your typical
nature
someone tries to take over the
natural territory.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff you see in other things, but it's just
really,
it's really well
fun.
done.
It's really fun.
Aquaman is a cool character to head it all up. And the other Justice League members get some stuff to do. Martian Manhunter does nothing in this episode. He literally
phases in and out episodes. He just, whenever something's about to happen, he's just like, I'm going to phase out and then look and then not do anything.
Yeah, he doesn't even really fight people in this. He just kind of fades out. Which I'm fine with his phasing power. You can't use his full power set because
he's too strong.
Yeah, but
he's cooler. He's better than Superman.
He barely has any dialogue. He doesn't really have any character motivations. Like, well, Green Lantern's
really angry.
I knew we couldn't trust that fish, man. The sub's been stripped and the plutonium is gone.
And you think Aquaman's responsible?
Who else, princess?
Yeah, he doesn't.
He's really bitter.
He doesn't trust the Atlanteans, which is kind of reflective of the world. They don't trust them. They don't acknowledge Atlantis as a country, which doesn't make sense. I don't get that.
Well, they know it exists. They act like they know it exists beforehand.
Oh yeah. It's clearly an established part of this world. Superman's the super hopeful one he's wanting Aquaman to unite with the rest of the world.
Wonder Woman's there.
Wonder Woman respects like the civilization and stuff. Which,
well, I guess because she's
from another civilization.
The mascara.
And then Batman is just kind of there, but at least he does stuff. Like, he's resourceful.
Yeah.
He's integral to the plot.
Martian Manhunter is just straight up there.
I really wish we had counted the lines, because he probably has like 3
He's like 3. He says Diana at one point.
Yeah.
And something else.
Perfectly. Diana, he's heading towards you. Atlantis. Too late. They've already seen us. Depth charges. No, can't focus. This fight is far from over. We've searched the entire palace. If that continues, the ecological effects could be catastrophic.
Yeah, he doesn't do. I really don't know why he was in this episode, because he doesn't do anything but phase in and out and nothing else.
Yeah. It's pretty disappointing on that front. But for the rest of the episode,
I really enjoyed this episode. This 2-parter.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else to say, but this was the perfect episode. You get a great cameo from Deadshot, you get a really cool Aquaman, you get some fun action, you get good intrigue, and you get a lot of Snapper Car. And at the end of the day, that's what I need in a Justice League episode, is just more Snapper Car.
There are still no official reports on his condition.
If they don't put Snapper Car in the movies, I'll be so upset.
He's not going to be in the movies. He's only in this.
Also, fun trivia fact of the day, Richard Green, who played Orm, also voiced Jimmy Olsen in Justice League Crisis on 2 Earths.
Huh. Little tidbit for your tidbit.
And that being said, we will see you next time on the Watchtower. Guys, watch the tower, and yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this.